Here we go.
I'm good right here.
That's not this type of show. Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the show, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Bloop. Let's get started. Welcome to the show. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a seat. Welcome to the show. Cheers. Thank you, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the show. Save a lot of that love for my good friend. Give it up for Kendall over there. Hello, Kendall.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. I feel good today because I watched GOT and I feel good.
That's right. You have to explain what GOT is.
Game of Thrones. So I'm not like scared all the time I'm gonna get spoilers. So I feel better about life.
I know. Everybody, if you didn't watch it on Sunday, you had to avoid
everything.
Spoilers. And we're actually going to be talking about spoilers a little bit later. When is it all right to talk about spoilers for movies and TV shows? It's really hard for us. I don't know. Like, I want to talk about the Avengers, but when is it all right? When can we assume that enough people saw it? I always say this, no matter what you say, you're going to offend or anger 7 people. You know what I mean? Always.
At least.
Believe me. And believe me. On some days, we shoot for 12 people. I mean, you know, we want to upset maybe 12 people a day, you know?
It's a good number.
But
good
nobody was upset around here today. I was really excited. Look, you would think, this proves that I'm still kind of a child because I still get caught up in stuff like this. I've been on TV for 20 years, but stuff like what happened today still makes me so happy. So when I'm not watching the Fox 9 Morning News here locally, I make no secret that I love CBS This Morning, and I have for years. I love Gayle King. I love Norah O'Donnell. I love John Dickerson because, like, the three of them, Gayle is like my girlfriend. Nora is like my kick-arse good friend who beats the butts of my bullies. And John Dickerson is like my uncle who tells me I should be doing better in school. You know what I mean?
It's true.
But I love them, and I love the Eye Opener. Do you guys know what the Eye Opener is? It's at the beginning of CBS This Morning, they always go, "Your world in 90 seconds." And it's an edited together package of the news and sound bites of the last 24 hours. It's my favorite thing that news does. Well, guys, the Jason Show made the Eye Opener today. We were talking about, it's me talking about my girlfriend Gayle King and the fact that she takes her son to Red Lobster every year for his birthday. Look at this. Gayle King goes to a certain restaurant for her son's birthday every year. Red Lobster for the seafood lover and you.
Happy birthday to you.
That's it, yeah. So they edit, it's like they edit together all the news of the day, and smack dab in the middle, right there, is my goofy voice. And I know, sorry.
Sure is. Bucket list.
You know you've made it when you made the CBS Eye Opener. I mean, that's right, yeah. I love it. Let's get started, everybody. It's time for the hot dish. Here we go. We're going to start with sad news, really sad news. I always hate opening the broadcast with this, but because we're a happy show. But we talked about this yesterday. We talked about him yesterday with TMZ. But sad news to report this morning, Academy Award-nominated director John Singleton has died. John became just an enormous fixture in Hollywood in 1991 with his writing and directing debut of Boys in the Hood, becoming the first African-American to be nominated for Best Director at the Oscars. And youngest, by the way. He was 24. He followed that up with Poetic Justice in 1993. with Janet Jackson and Tupac and Regina King. Remember, Regina King was in. You forget Regina King's. 227. She's been here I love her. Well, John, he was really a trailblazer for telling stories about the black community that he thought deserved to be told. Absolutely. John Singleton was 51 years old. To give the youngins some perspective, my executive producer, Jeff, my friend, we're contemporaries, the same age. It's hard to explain, but it's actually not hard to explain. Back in 91, you didn't really see movies that reflected that aspect of the African American experience in theaters like that, in a mainstream cinema. And you certainly didn't see stories like that honored at the Academy Awards. So, you know what I mean? You didn't. And John, yeah. It's hard to describe how revelatory he was. The change makers, it's overused, but with Mr. Singleton, it's a big loss. He was a trailblazer in every sense of the word. So it's really, really. Have you ever seen Boys in the Hood?
I haven't. It's one of Jordan's favorite movies, though.
Yeah, your husband's favorite. It's such a good movie, and like I said, poetic justice. And the stars, Regina wrote something beautiful on Instagram. Janet Jackson wrote something beautiful. If you get a moment, just tool around Instagram to see worthy tributes to just, when they write the book on directors in the Academy, he's going to be recognized as a fundamental part of that history. Well, next in the dish. Now, I mentioned her a few minutes ago. We're going to lighten the mood. Gayle King, my girlfriend, was, this is so good, though, guys. This is so funny. Gayle was almost late for work today. Now, again, they go live at 7 a.m., whether the anchors are there or not. CBS this morning goes live. Well, apparently, her cross-country flight from L.A. Look at this picture, everybody. Look at this picture. Apparently, her cross-country flight from L.A. got delayed, and she had to get to the airport. Teleprompter, roll up, please. And she had to get in the car and change in the car on the way to CBS this morning from JFK. She shared this series of photos, and then look at this. You're looking at the Instagram where look at the team of makeup folks they're trying to get her ready for the broadcast. Yeah. She was in that. Can you believe she was in that car? This is what I'm getting heart palpitations thinking about it because we're live every day. She's in that car 10 minutes before the open runs, and it's like, oh, I'm perspiring thinking about it. Yeah, but she made it, and she looked good at the top of the show.
I think it'd be kind of fun.
She did. Yeah. The reason Gayle was coming in hot was because she was actually in LA yesterday as the co-host, one of the, fill-in co-host for The Talk, also on CBS, where she talked about a lot of topics, including what she's looking for in a guy. Look at this.
Okay. A deal breaker for me is smoking. I just don't like smoking. I do feel that I've evolved because it used to be tattoos were a deal breaker.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Tattoos and piercings, but I have evolved because I now see that tattoos have become very mainstream.
Yeah.
I used to be very judgmental about it, like, biker, da-da-da-da, criminal, but so I have evolved. That's why I said I've evolved.
I'm glad I'm covered up today.
I think laughter, guys, is so important in a relationship. I want laughter. And I want intelligence. I want somebody that you can have a conversation with and somebody that just isn't all hung up on what you do. Because, Oprah said to me once, you guys will get a kick out of this. She goes, look at your shoes. What's wrong with my shoes? Look at your coat. What's wrong with my coat? She goes, a guy is going to look at you and say, there's nothing I can do for her. I go, but I'm not looking for a guy who can do something for me. I want a guy who can compliment me.
That's right. That's right, Gayle. That's right, Gayle. I can compliment you.
Oh, Lord.
That sounded pervy, didn't it? Gayle, I apologize. I swear I'm not a creeper. I swear. Is there a deal breaker? You're married now. You're happily married. Did you have a deal breaker when you were because my boss, for instance, my boss over at the radio station, I call her B. Arthur. B. Arthur broke up with a guy one time because he chewed like this. And the way he ate drove her nuts. Did you have a deal breaker like BO or facial hair? I don't know. BO, I don't know.
Nobody likes BO. I
yeah,
mean,
no, but I'm saying, did you have a deal breaker?
Not a huge deal breaker. I had to be with somebody who understood sports and could appreciate that, like, I like them and I had my own merit, and don't try to teach me because I got it. I hate, like, the condescending men, because I was in sports, and it would be like, oh, so let me tell you about this. I'm like, oh, can you?
Yeah.
I hated that. No, and Jordan was an athlete in college, and he's just never like that, and I just really like that about him.
Yeah, I like that. You don't need to tell Kendall about sports. She needs to tell me about sports. Yeah, that's right.
I hated that. Yeah, and I always thought I was really self-conscious of being tall when I was younger. So I always thought I had to date someone taller than me. My husband's shorter than me, so sometimes things that you think are deal breakers are like not at all.
Yeah, exactly. They go away. You love the person in general. Do you mind? How tall are you? Do you mind if I ask?
I'm 5'8", but I've been 5'8" since like 6th grade. So
seriously?
I was like, in all my class photos, I was like in the back, in the middle. Yeah, 5'8", 1/8.
Do homework. Yeah.
So, what?
I don't know. It's my little Jolly Green Giant imitation. I don't know. Yeah.
Did you just Jolly Green Giant?
No, me. I was tall. I can make fun of you like that because I was giant.
Feel me.
There is a picture that we've shown on the show many times of me in 3rd grade doing the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
I look like the teacher. You know what I mean? I'm towering over these children because, it's like, hello. We have a lot more to come, everybody. Go grab another cup of coffee and meet me back here in just a minute. Back after this. Coming up, we're kicking off a new segment today. We're checking out old TV shows, old movies, etc. to see, does it hold up? And today, producer Ted is rewatching the very first season of The Bachelor. Does it hold up? You'll see. Then, it's a special Tuesday edition of Spring Training with Jace. Trainer Galen is back to help us all make the right choices when it comes to snacking. Because let's get real, we need a little snack in the day. And we're getting you ready for the Kentucky Derby with the 411 on making our very own mint julep. That's all coming up, so stay right there.
First time we met.
I do, unless there was another that, of course, you'll embarrass me by. But no, I went to an audition. I was wrong about which audition. I thought it was another movie. But I went to an audition, and then you sat down next to me. You two were reading for the same role.
Yes.
And then I started talking to you and discovered you had a charming accent. And I thought, wow, they're casting a wide net.
Yeah.
You got a hillbilly from Michigan and like a proper English gentleman who sounds smart.
Not that proper, but yeah.
Well, but for us, anyone with that accent sounds like royalty.
That's the miracle.
Yeah.
In America, they think this is amazing.
Yeah.
At home, I'm incredibly common.
No, I feel here, yeah. So, it's always kind of intimidating when you're at an audition, you're like sizing someone up. And then I said, so do you live here in LA? And you said, no, they flew me here for this audition. And I said, from England, like first class. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm dead. There's no way.
Jack Shepard with James Corden last night. That audition was for Sisters, and neither got that part. Yeah. Oh, and sitting next to Dax, I like Dax, but let's forget about it, was Villanelle. From Killing Eve, my new favorite show on AMC. It's so good. Well, next in the dish, a special congratulations to a friend of the show and Minnesota's own Halima Aden, the model from St. Cloud. This is great. Made the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. And here's a clip when she was on our show earlier this year. I'll just say what I said in the commercial break. You are inhumanly beautiful. Seriously. Anyway.
First of all, I need to keep coming back here because, like, my self-esteem just went up like five notches. Wow.
Come back. She was so kind. She was just beautiful. I always like to tell you guys the real deal. Like when a celebrity's here and then they leave, if they're mean, I tell you. But she was as beautiful as she was kind. She was so gracious to the crew and just, wasn't she, Aaron? She was so sweet. She becomes the first ever woman to make the publication wearing a burkini. Yeah, and it's amazing. Yeah, I think beautiful, and the portraits are beautiful. Look at these. It's amazing. On her Instagram page, she shared a photo from the magazine and wrote, Don't change yourself. Change the game, ladies. Anything is possible. Yeah.
Yes, girl.
It's a good theme of life, right, Kendall? That's right.
Yes, girl.
The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue hit stands May 8th. That's my favorite issue of the year. I love that issue.
Me too.
I don't know what y'all are laughing at. I enjoy that. I enjoy that issue very much.
I thought we were joking because I said me too.
Yeah, I know. No, I do. Yeah, no. I do like. I do.
Hey,
like
I
looking.
mean, those girls look good.
Yeah,
Like,
they look really good. Next on the dish, Charlize Theron was on Howard Stern yesterday. Again, Howard, another great interview, and talked about an audition with a major movie producer. Look at this.
I knocked on the door and he opened up the door and he was in his pajamas, barefoot.
It's Saturday night, and I'm sure and here he answers the door in the pajamas. Do you just turn around and say, "This guy"?
I should have. I didn't.
Pajamas are not a good look on a man.
No, but he had a very healthy ego. He felt very good about himself. There was some kind of music playing in the house.
ND music.
A lot of like
never good.
Cold marble and crystal. And then we sat down and we started talking. He sat very close to me. That was strange. The drinking bothered me. I was like, doesn't feel right. I kept kind of saying, as he was asking me questions about me, I said, I've never done this. So just tell me, like, I have these pages. Do you want me to read these pages? And he was like, no. We're just gonna talk. Ugh. And then at one point he put his hand on my knee.
Hey.
And that's when I just went, ooh.
Yeah. So she went on to tell Howard she got up and left. And she was driving, and she was mad at herself. She kept saying to herself, I am not that girl. Why didn't I say anything? She was really mad at herself. Well, then she told Howard she was 8 years later that Mervy Pervy offered her a role, and she confronted him about the situation. This is great. He went up to her, and he's like, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. And she goes, no, I've met you. And she listed every detail, and she did it in front of his producing partner. Charlize goes, no, you met me. You met me, and it was 9 o'clock at night at your house. You opened the door in the pajamas, and you put your hand on my knee. And she told Howard that the producer partner was like this. Like he was mortified.
As he should be.
Well, and and the fact that he didn't remember her, you know what that tells me? It tells me that he did this to so many women. He did, you know what I mean? That he didn't even remember Charlize Theron, that this was a common occurrence. And the scary part about it is, Charlize said, that guy was a big deal back then, still a big deal right now. Isn't that gross? He's still somewhere in the movie. She goes, he is a big deal in the movie industry. So those bottom feeders are still out there. It's gross. It's a good interview. And again, Howard Stern, by the way, out with a brand new book. I want to promote it because Marianne from Brooklyn, who is, thank you, audience, Marianne from Brooklyn, who is the most famous call-in. She's Howard's super fan. Howard! She talks like that. Marianne called into my radio show, not to promote herself, Marianne called into my radio show to promote Howard's book. She's the sweetest woman. I love her, yeah. So go buy Howard's book. I love you, Howard. I love you. Still ahead, everybody. The first season of The Bachelor is now available for streaming, and producer Ted was a little too eager to watch. He'll recap it and answer our new question, does it hold up? We'll find out when we come back. Back after this.
Hi, I'm Chris Harrison, and no, I'm not the Bachelor. I am a happily married man, and tonight we'll embark on a romantic journey that will hopefully lead two people to one of the most wonderful things life has to offer, a marriage filled with love and romance.
No. Let's be clear. That's not what The Bachelor offered. Let's be very clear. And that is how it all began. You are looking at the first season of The Bachelor, which aired on ABC back in March of 2002. Wow, have things changed. The first season just started streaming for the first time ever on the app called Tubi. And to see how that first season, Tubi. And to see how that first season measures up, we knew there's only one human being we could turn to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for America Loves Ted. That's right. Joining us from our control room is America's favorite TV producer, Ted Johnson. Give it up, audience. Hello, Ted.
Hello.
Ted, question number 1. What is Tubi?
Yeah, it sounds a little weird.
Okay.
But it's basically a free version of Hulu.
It's a free version of Hulu. Okay?
You know, you've got a few ads, but there's a lot of really bad TV that you can just binge on there.
Okay, so like anybody in our audience can get it, but it's just a version of Hulu.
Yeah, if you want to watch like Rock of Love with Bret Michaels over again,
yeah,
Tubi is where to go.
Wow, that's so Rock of Love and Bachelor all in one place.
Yep.
You can't go wrong. Okay, so I've been following you, by the way, and you guys should follow Ted on Instagram. I've been following your adventures watching the show. I forgot, who is the season 1 Bachelor, Ted?
So his name was Alex.
Alex.
And he was promoted as the most desirable single person in the world.
Ooh.
Harvard, Stanford, management consultant, he had it all. He just was single.
Okay, now you've watched enough seasons now. How does he hold up? I mean, like, how is his, because, you know, he's the first one to do this, so he didn't watch the other season, so he wasn't like, you know, do you like him?
Yeah, I mean, I as much as you can like someone who's dating 25 other women. I mean, he is a little, a little elitist, maybe.
Okay.
But you know, the limos, they still happen at the, that holds up, and but they didn't have the shtick. You know, someone wouldn't be riding in on a horseback, or wearing a weird costume.
Yeah.
But he for not knowing what this show was like, he was okay. He was pretty good, I thought.
Yeah, and thank goodness. We noticed things like this. Good thing they fixed the lighting, right, Ted? My goodness.
Different house, by the way.
Oh, it's a different house too. Okay, how else? Are there any other ways that it's different any big ways?
More group dates.
More group dates?
More group dates. And there wasn't the feuding on the group dates. It was just more, this was just pure. This was more, let's just have a good time together. And so like the first episode, you had 3 different group dates. There were no one-on-one dates. And then the one-on-one dates came later, and they were billed as like more intimate dates.
So we were talking, to bottom line it now in our new segment, does this hold up? So bottom line, does season 1 of The Bachelor hold up?
This is The Bachelor in its purest form. This is what I would hope The Bachelor would look like now, before they started going all
sticky,
crazy.
Yes.
The women, and here's another big change. They sat during the rose ceremonies.
Oh, they sat. Oh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they don't give them chairs anymore on ABC. That's right. It's How I Treat Kendall in the first segment. That's right. She doesn't get. It's a joke. Someone wrote me complaining about it. Kendall's over there crying. Give it up for producer Ted Johnson, everybody. It holds up. It's still one of my favorite emails. You're so mean, Jason. Why doesn't Kendall get to sit? You sit. I don't know. Season 1 of The Bachelor and The Bachelorette are now available on Tubi. Still ahead, spring training with Jason continues. My trainer Galen returns, and he's talking about snack ideas. Because, we're going to snack. And then, how soon is too soon when it comes to talking about spoilers? We opened up the Jason Show mailbag, and y'all had a lot to say on this one. We'll read your comments a little bit later. Stay with us, everybody. That open. It's like every time I see that open, I'm waiting for Pat Benatar to come out and start singing to me. It's time for spring training with Jason, a special Tuesday edition. We all get hungry, but if it's not mealtime, what should you do? If you're trying to change your eating habits, is it okay to snack? And if you snack, what do you do? Here to walk us through some healthy snack ideas is my trainer and yours, Galen Wood, everybody. Hello. Hello. Everybody. Let's start with just the fundamental question, because I'll give you the same compliment. I call you a realistic trainer because you understand that life gets in the way.
Yeah.
People are going to go out to eat. People are going to cheat. People are going to snack. So snacking, bottom line, is all right.
Yeah, well, so the thing that I've always focused on, and I guess this makes me a realistic trainer. Ideally, we all should think this way, I think. But the major thing is eat healthy food, right? So the focus should not necessarily just be on not eating. Really, the focus should be on trying to eat healthy food, because it's almost harder for us to eat the foods that are good for us than it is to not eat the foods that are bad for us.
And fundamentally,
I love the clapping.
The clapping,
it makes me
I know.
feel so happy.
I know, it's good. You come to work and people clap.
I know.
But let me ask you, but fundamentally, snacking is almost a necessity because you're firing up the engine. Snacking keeps the metabolism going. Am I right on that?
You're totally right on that. So there's a bunch of different, there's always going to be some new nutrition trend. And the reality is that most of them work. Because anytime you do something different to your body, you boost metabolism, right? If you switch from intermittent fasting to small meals 5 times a day to 3 steady meals, whatever you're doing that's new, your body reacts to and increases your metabolism, right? So the thing to really think about is what fits into your lifestyle. So for people like me, I tend to be a little bit high energy, which I know is very surprising for most people.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah, shocking.
Totally. I tend to do better just eating consistently.
Yeah.
Right? So I always have a little bit of food. Yeah, and it also, if I'm hungry, I'm more likely to make poor choices.
Absolutely. Let's start with some of your ideas. Now, let's start down here. You were feeding Aaron Schwab shortly before we came back. What are we looking at here?
So these are Aaron Schwab approved.
That's right. Yes.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So these are homemade protein balls. They fit in a
little container.
Tupperware container.
Yeah.
Yay.
What's all in them? They look interesting.
So it's pronounced delicious.
No,
it's pronounced delicious.
I know. I'm sorry.
Words are hard.
I know. Sorry. Interesting is not a compliment. Okay.
No, it's very much like to be like, I have this friend.
I know.
Yeah, they're very interesting.
Yeah,
I want to set you up.
This looks good. Yeah.
So. Yep. So we're gonna have you eat as many of those in 15 seconds as you can.
Perfect.
No, there's peanut butter in there. There's nuts. There's raisins. There's trail mix. Survey says.
Ooh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your interesting now, son?
Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. No. So the fun part about these is the major thing with this is that this is a healthy, easy snack.
Yeah.
Right. So we got fat in there, right, with the nuts. I put peanut butter in there, or my girlfriend when she made them because she's a personal chef, which is amazing. Also, date a personal chef. It's the best.
It's the best,
But right, so peanut butter in there.
And be friends with a trainer. It's
there is
great.
that. I'm just saying. This is today's fit tip.
Yeah.
No, so it really doesn't necessarily matter the details of it, right?
Yeah.
If you like craisins as opposed to raisins, if you want to do almond butter instead of peanut butter, right, all that kind of stuff.
But let me talk about portion control.
Let's talk about it.
We're looking at it. Even though these are healthy for you, you can't sit here and eat like 4, right?
So, and we talk about this. No, we talk about this all the time. I mean, ideally, use common sense.
Yeah.
But so the thing for me though is generally, if you're eating healthy food, it helps to balance the blood sugar better. It helps to satiate hunger better, and ideally, it'll help you to make better choices, right? So binging on vegetables, right? So if you have cauliflower, broccoli, pea pods, and carrots, just as some examples.
Yeah.
Just in case you guys don't know what these
I was going to say,
what these are. This is cauliflower. this is broccoli. You're welcome.
Yeah.
So if love the clapping.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna you're not gonna be able to overeat vegetables, right? So generally, if you're eating healthier food, partially if something's not as delicious, I mean, sorry, not sorry. If it's not as delicious, it's hard to binge eat it.
And this also, if you're loading up snack-wise, or if you're loading your plate with broccoli or cauliflower or peas, it's going to make you less. It's going to literally fill you up, so you're less apt to make bad choices.
Exactly right. Well, so and the thing for me, and I don't know if this is I'm just predisposed to making poor choices or whatever it is.
Probably. Yeah.
Confessions.
Yeah, exactly.
On
we'll
the
do that
Jason
later.
Show. So so for me, if I have this available, right? If I just have this in a little baggie, it doesn't matter.
And you
container,
do.
And I do. And I'm hungry, I'll eat this. But if I don't, I'm much more likely to eat something else because I need to eat.
Because you're going to go searching. If you're on the road
Exactly.
traveling here,
Yes.
this makes perfect sense. If you have that, you're going to eat that. If you don't, you may pull into Taco Bell.
Yeah, and it's hard to to pull into a drive-thru or a gas station and be like, excuse me, I would like some fresh cut up vegetables, please.
Exactly.
Do you have any homemade protein balls?
Now, again, if you're following along with us with the spring training with Jason, shoot us a video. Are you getting healthy and losing weight with us? Do you have some? Have we motivated you? Are you maybe motivating us? Shoot us a video. post it to our Facebook page, and who knows, you could show up on a future edition of Spring Training.
Also, protein ball recipe will be on my Instagram page.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of you, where do they get a hold of you?
Ask Galen. Go to Instagram @AskGalen. I'll post the protein ball recipe later today. Any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'll do videos on there.
Yeah.
Don't ask Jason.
Still ahead, everybody. We're talking spoilers without spoiling anything when we come back. Back after this. Those are actually really good. Yeah. Welcome back. Kendall's back. And she's sitting down.
I'm sitting down.
Sitting down. Well, the latest episode of Game of Thrones, it was a big topic on the late night shows last night. Now, before we show you the clips, a small warning. Yeah, you've been warned. Check out what some of the late night hosts had to say about the episode people are still talking about.
Seriously, everybody watched it. Everybody. There were numerous viewing parties all around the world. If you've never been to one, a viewing party is what you call any group of 15 people sharing the same HBO Go password.
That is you, right, Bran? Sorry, it's darker than usual this week. He's coming. He'll bring death to us all. What does your prophetic vision tell us about how we can defeat the Night King? Save us!
I'm going to go now.
Wait, where are you going? What could be more important than this?
Maybe the most disturbing part of the episode was when we learned that the Night King, the dreaded Night King, has kind of a cute smile. He's kind of... This is the episode when the Night King and Bran, by the way, if you don't watch the show, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but had their long-awaited date with Destiny, and what a date it was. Am I the only one who sensed some chemistry between them?
I celebrate my love. It seems the natural thing to do.
No one's gone. Oh, so good. Game of Thrones and the movie Avengers Endgame brings up the topic of spoilers. Now, we started talking about this after the show yesterday. We brought it up briefly yesterday during the actual show. When is it okay to spoil what happens in a TV show or movie? Now, I will tell you, as a show, I do two shows. I do this as a radio show and a TV show that we talk a lot about TV. We ask this to ourselves every day. When is it okay? Now, we asked you about spoilers on our Facebook page this morning. Before we give our opinion, here's what some of you are saying. First up, Angel says, never. Don't ruin it for someone who hasn't seen it yet. Okay? An overwhelming majority of people agree and say never. Never. A lot of you on our Facebook page. Nikki, hello, Nikki. Nikki has a formula. She says movies, 30 days. TV shows, 2 weeks, okay? Paula has this to say about spoilers online. If you aren't watching the show in real time, it's your responsibility not to look at social media, okay? I'm a little bit with Paula. Okay, and finally, Kim says, I love me some spoilers. Books, movies, whatever. I enjoy it more when I know how it's all going to come together. Now, I love Kim, but I think she is in the minority on this one.
Yeah.
I do. Where do you stand on it?
I have to agree with some of the people that said the social media thing. Like yesterday, I avoided social media completely.
Yeah.
Because on our show and stuff, we're really good at not giving stuff away. But then I was listening to the radio on the way home, and a song came on. And that song, then the DJ said, oh, that must be what Game of Thrones characters. And I was like, wah, 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 wah.
You wanted to turn off.
Yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, I've avoided this all day.
I try because, look, I want to really talk to you guys about Game of Thrones. I want to talk to you about Avengers, but I you know me, I don't want to ruin it for people. Right. I say for TV shows, I give folks about a week. Maybe
fair.
a week and a half. For movies, about a month, I'll give it. But sometimes people get mad. People get mad that I ruined Titanic. You know what I mean? It's like
he doesn't get on the board,
yeah,
okay?
The boat sinks, everybody. You know what I mean? You know? E.T. goes home at the end. You know? I mean, yeah. Julia Roberts dies in Steel Magnolias. I mean,
what?
You know what I mean? Yeah. It's 30 years old.
I'm still waiting to see it.
You've never seen Steel Magnolias?
I'm waiting.
For what?
I don't know.
For 4th of July? What are you waiting for? What do you mean you're waiting?
I think until my mama can watch it with me, and it never happens. We just drink too much wine and then we skip it.
I was gonna say the movie came out in 1989. I don't know what you're waiting for.
Before I was born.
But anyway, the bottom.
I know. Stop. You know this.
Oh my good. Yeah, she was born 3 days before the 90s. Let's just be clear. Yeah.
Oh no, after.
Thank you. Whatever. No, but seriously, that's if you want to know our rule, we wait about a week for TV shows. We try. Still ahead, everybody. We're getting you ready for the Kentucky Derby with a classic cocktail you must drink this weekend when we return. Back in a moment, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. The Kentucky Derby is coming up on Saturday. And in addition to those fancy hats, there's only one drink you should have on race day, the mint julep. Here with their take. I love that Aaron leads the applause on that. Here with their take on the iconic cocktail from one of my favorite places in the cities, Butcher and the Boar. Ladies and gentlemen, bar manager Jacob and GM Kevin, everybody. Hey. Kevin. Jacob will end with the best part, you making the cocktail. But first, Kevin, first of all, let's assure the people that is a fake boar head. I didn't need the emails today on the Tuesday. There we go. Kevin, what do you guys? A lot of places have things going on. What do you guys have going on for the Derby?
Hey, it's one of our favorite days, actually.
Yeah.
Doors are going to open at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
Well, beer and wine drinks and mint juleps and food specials all day long.
All day long.
All day long.
Yeah. And as far as the mint julep, I got to tell you, I've done hundreds of these segments. I actually don't even know what goes in a mint julep. So what do we have? Let me switch places with you.
All right, so we're gonna do this. This is definitely a classic cocktail. One of those that if you're gonna go to a Derby party, you should definitely do one of the mint juleps. So we do it with our single barrel Knob Creek, which we sell the most in the world now, 7 years in a row. Yeah,
in the world. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys here, Butcher and Boar in Minneapolis sells more than anyone in the world?
In the world.
In the world.
That's all your fault.
There we go. It goes into our old fashioned, but we are going to be using it in our mint julep.
Okay.
So I'm going to do 3 ounces of this, okay?
Okay. 3 ounces.
Yeah. We also make a mint syrup in-house. This is really nice, really floral, really cool color. We do that all here.
And I like it because I don't like I say this, I don't like an overly sweet beverage. So I have a feeling that helps with the non-sugary, syrupy thing. Yeah.
This is definitely like a spirit-forward cocktail. So we got a little bit of the mint syrup here.
It's spirit-forward, audience.
Yeah,
it's spirit-forward.
A lot of whiskey. This is our Angostura bitters. We do this just as a little bit, but we're going to add some color to it later.
Okay.
So it is 120 proof bourbon.
Oh.
So we need a little bit of a temp check on this.
Holy crap.
So what we do is we're going to be stirring it. We kind of bring that temp down, smooth it out a little bit, so you get more of the, spirit, but not the bite. Okay.
Now, will I burst into flames upon my first drink with 122 proof or whatever?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I think we smoothed it out enough for you. So we got our Butcher and the Boar glass stacked high with the nice ice that we have. Shaved
Is this
ice.
a cool glass, audience? I love this. This is their glass. Yeah. It's like an adult
slushy.
So we got a little spillage, but that's part of the thing. Okay?
That's like an adult slushy.
Yeah. So we have the mint. This is more for the decoration of the whole thing, right? Put some mint on the top.
Oh, I will remove that quickly.
All right. The last part that we do, this is our little twist on a mint julep. We make a tincture. So the tincture is actually going to be, so this is mint tincture. So we take grain alcohol.
Okay.
We put that down in mint, so it adds a little floral taste to it. A lot of the taste that you're going to have, 75% is smell. So this is kind of like the last part of it.
So it's like, it's a alcohol air freshener?
There we go, yeah. Little thoroughness for you. So you can try it if you'd like. No, yeah. That's 100 proof. So if you want to take a little straw, dip that in there, try it out.
Okay, there we go. I won't mind. There we go.
It's all a part of the experience with the ice, too. So
impressive.
That gets to your bones, yeah, that's good.
I took the smallest of sips, and that was like, you will really like that race.
Yeah.
Dude, let me tell you, you won't care what horse wins. Again, what time do you guys open?
3 o'clock. mint juleps. It'll go all day, and then we're also going to give away a $150 gift card.
Oh, nice. And then the patio will be open?
Patio is open, for sure.
Again, if you're coming into the cities, people always ask about outdoor patios. They have one of the best. They really do. It's comfortable. It's cool. The vibe is great. It's one of my favorites in downtown Minneapolis. So there we go. Jacob, thank you, my friend.
Yeah.
My hands are all wet. I'm sorry. Kevin,
Thank
you. Give it up for the guys. And for more information about Saturday's event, head to thebutcherandtheboar.com. And don't forget, if you missed this segment, we'll post this whole thing on Facebook. And of course, full episodes of The Jason Show are available on our brand new YouTube page. Just search for The Jason Show. And we will be right back. Back after this.
That is dangerous.
We were just sitting here in the commercial break comparing head sizes because Kendall said for the Kentucky Derby, you wanted me to wear a hat, right?
Yeah,
on
I thought
Friday.
it'd be fun to wear hats.
And I said no, because as the studio audience can tell you, I have a physically large melon. Like I have a most hats can't fit me. I'm not kidding. I do not look good in a baseball hat. I do not.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this pumpkin. I mean, I don't know.
Is it like the one size fits most?
No, I'm looking,
and then you're
okay,
like,
then Leo goes to a close-up of my big head. No, and my head is so big that I usually tell the story, Aaron knows this, I usually tell the story to the studio audience. That's why it's really good to come here, because I can tell you guys stuff that I don't usually say on TV. I talk to the audience every day after the show. But I will tell you since we mentioned hats, I will tell you my favorite hat story, and that involves my trip to Dallas in 2012. TNT, the network, remember they relaunched my favorite TV show, Dallas. So they sent me to Dallas to interview the whole cast and blah, 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 blah. So we walk into the hotel that we were staying at, and the representative said, "Hi, howdy, welcome. Y'all, you're going to get some cowboy boots, you're going to get a Stetson." And I was all excited. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm going to get a Stetson. So I go to Wild Bill's. They had a little boutique set up for Wild Bill's, provided all the hats for the show. And they looked at my head and they said, "You're going to need to go down there," like basically by the big head people. So they go down there, and none of the Stetsons would fit my head. They're pounding. They're like trying to pound. So they finally moved me all the way down. They moved me all the way down to the last area, the last seating area. And they sit me down, and I'll never forget this, and you will see why. I sit down at the area, and they go, "Okay, I think we got a Stetson for you, son. Why don't you put your head down?" And I put my head down, and they're putting the Stetson on my head, and they're fitting it, and they're jamming it. And then they started to bend it. What are they called when you're sculpting the lid? I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. What are they?
So they're putting it on my head, and they go, "Okay, son, you can lift up." And I lifted up. Larry Hagman was standing behind me. And the hat that they gave me, the hat that I have, is a replica of the Stetson he wore in the pilot of Dallas. So I have a white Stetson. I have Larry Hagman's Stetson. That's going to be, by the way, you'll see a picture of it. We're going to be in the July issue of Minnesota Monthly, and they wanted a picture of it. So I'm sitting with it's one of my prized possessions, because as most of you know, Larry sadly passed away about 3 months after that day. So it is, I used to have it up here on the set. Some of you, if you've been with me a while, I used to have it on our wall. We call this the home goods vase wall now, but I used to have this in my tchotchke wall up there, but I didn't want anyone stealing it, so yeah.
I think that makes it all worth it then. Like my head's too big to wear any of the hats, but you got the coolest hat.
But JR's behind me. Yeah, that's right. An update on a story that we brought to you about a month ago. You may remember that there was such a sweet woman in our audience that asked me to prom. She was 93 years old. Her name was Marge. Here she is right here. She asked me to prom. Of course, I said absolutely that I would take you, and people thought I was just doing it for TV. Well, I am here to tell you, I would never disappoint Marge. Our prom is 2 nights from tonight. So, I'm going to be taking her to prom. We'll bring a camera, and we will show you highlights coming up on Friday. I asked Marge if she wanted me to take her out to dinner. She goes, "No, just the dance." quite enough.
Girl.
Tomorrow on the show, Christopher Straub is back with a fun craft idea you can do with your kids. But that's going to do it for us today. If you're a kid watching...
It's what it's gonna be, man.
I don't know when Sync just turned on. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. If you're a kid that's being bullied, you go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. What is going on?